Well, we all know who that is. That is the Southern River Band, who have absolutely blown up this week, Skeeter. How are you?
Very well, Scully. Got no idea what you're talking about, but I'm presuming that's a positive.
Well, have a listen to this, won't you, Skeeter? I've got something to play for you.
How you going? Kelly from the Southern River Band. We've been getting tagged in this a whole bunch today. Really appreciate you putting us forward, but pretty fucking busy at the minute, eh? Don't know if we're going to be able to do it. If it was like AC/DC or like Foo Fighters or something like that, yep, fucking oath, probably be able to make that work. But at the minute, for Coldplay, no, we're good. We're good, thanks.
Actually, I did see that. That quote.
So that is in the back of Coldplay, who are coming to Perth to play, running a competition for bands in Western Australia or to open for Coldplay. And
Yes.
Cal's basically told them to get fucked. Because everyone's tagging Southern River Band boys because they're
good.
They're very good. Coldplay's not their thing, mate. It'd be like, I don't know. Who's... No, don't do that. What do you like? What do you like?
Forget what you like.
No,
what you don't like.
that's not. You have no idea.
Okay, well then
you have no idea.
I've got no idea. I won't contribute then.
Yeah. Well, so what do you like? Just answer my question. What's one of your favourite things?
Musically,
No, just things.
no.
I'll just tell me, mate.
I drink water.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're having a drink. You're like maybe having a punt. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Would you go and be an ambassador for anti-punting?
Depends how much money's involved. Why? What do you expect me to say?
All right. What about you like having a scotch or a whiskey or
JD.
Yeah. Would you go and be an ambassador for don't drink JD? Don't drink the black liquor.
Well,
you wouldn't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do this. You wouldn't do it, would you?
It's totally different from a band that's
it's
going to
not.
get worldwide exposure.
No, music isn't just music, mate. There's different types of music.
Oh, we're getting all this arty-farty funkiness. Just from an outside, I know you were talking the Southern River Band, as good as they are, I haven't got time for it. I mean, seriously. If you've got exposure, so do they want to stay where they are?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to someone who has no fucking idea.
What?
The notoriety and attention he's got for telling Coldplay to fuck off is better than what he would get to play with them.
Possibly.
Which has been hilarious. It's blown up. It's in the Daily Mail. It's gone to the UK. It's gone global. Gone off his head. And we bloody love it because we've been pumping them on the Shelter FootyCast for, I don't know, since we started, I think.
Yeah.
So
It's an interesting tactic, and you think it'll pay off with their careers going through the roof because of that?
Absolutely. That's how music works, mate. You don't just assign yourself to whoever walks by.
Sorry,
mate.
John Lennon. Yeah. Seriously, you sound like you're Michael Gudinski the way you're talking there.
I mean, you told me that someone is putting their hand up to maybe heard a little.
No, I did. 6PR was doing something, and they threw up the band Dice.
Michael Gudinski.
No, the late Michael Gudinski, but either way, mind you, it could be the late Heath Streak if you believe what you read yesterday.
What's that?
Heath Streak's a Zimbabwe cricket legend, and his teammate Henry Alonga put out that so sad to hear of the passing of my old buddy Heath Streak. Only one problem: Heath's alive. He was alive. He's alive and well.
What? That was a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke. He heard that he'd passed away, so someone had put it out there that Heath Streak, who does have cancer by the way, he's 49 years of age, that he'd passed away. Off the back of that, Henry Alonga passed his sympathies on social media, and subsequently he said, "I'm very much alive. Please recall me to the crease. I've still got some runs left in me."
Welcome to the Shoulder FootyCast. Bottom-up Rugby of the week. We'll get through that this week. Start your footy weekend at Bottom-up. Grab your shelters where Bottom-up has you covered. Speaking about Dice like you did before, they might be covering, they might be opening for Coldplay, which would be a good deal. But the bigger thing they're doing, they're playing at Shelter September 22. Get your tickets now at oztic.com.au, or you can jump on the Shelter socials or website to find those. You want to send us an email, footycast@shelterbrewing.com.au. Welcome to the Shelter FootyCast, where we break news daily, Skeeter.
Do we?
We absolutely do. If you remember from Monday, I believe, I had this to say.
And Dean Cox, does he come? Has he served his apprenticeship? Is he ready to go?
He's not coming to West Coast.
He's not coming to West Coast?
No, he's not coming. Can reveal that 100%. Not coming to West Coast.
Can I run on your parade fractionally?
Yeah.
Carl said to me, Langdon, he said he mentioned that on Saturday on radio. So I don't know who's first, who's second. But anyway, it's all good.
So I wasn't claiming to be first.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's funny that we broke that. Channel 9, where did I send this? Where did I send this?
Paddy's story?
Yes. It was
word exclusive?
It was word for word what I had said.
Seriously?
Yeah. It was bad, mate. It was fucking funny. So I just wanted to put on the agenda. The Shelter FootyCast is setting the footy agenda.
No, well, let's buy that.
You already knew
I
that.
knew that. I just follow your leads, go. Let's. I'll tell you for a fact. Tex Walker, Coleman medalist. It's a lay down misère. Port Adelaide.
Hey, that's not over. I would like to tell you that's not over.
It's not over. You know, you're right. It's not over. He's 8 behind, so he's going to kick 11 probably to get across the line.
There's been some retirements this week, Skater. Tom Hickey, Phil Davis, Tom Jonas, Josh Bruce.
How's the parade going to be?
Jonathan Segler. Like, these are all like premiership players, captains.
Are there going to be enough cars, I've got to ask you on grand final day, to get these bodies around the MCG?
Do you reckon I'll get one? I still haven't had one.
Why didn't you have one? Why didn't you attend?
COVID.
COVID, yeah. So that was 21 or 22?
It's just a 2-year blank period where they did nothing for anybody. Just worried about themselves.
So, in all seriousness, what year were you?
2020.
2020. That
Lewis
was
Jenner, Chris Marston. I don't have an issue with the AFL. More West Coast Eagles. No lap of honour for us. They're happy to take the premiership. Don't want to give us a clap off.
Yeah, well, maybe
you knew this.
No, I didn't. Honestly, didn't know. I was, to be honest with you, I was. Now it rings a bell that they wouldn't have had that during COVID. But for those, and mate,
saw Jacko Nelson in a bloody car with Josh Kennedy.
If it makes you feel any better, my daughters who are 21, 22 lived through COVID and couldn't go travelling. So there's lots of people who couldn't do stuff during COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
And a car lap of MCG.
We're a bit back and forth today, aren't we? I mean, I was stuck here as well. I couldn't see my family for that period.
Oh no, it was crap. My old man was crook. I didn't get to see him. He passed away. So McGowan get. No, I'm not. No, look, it's a tough time, and look on that sense. So you still feel a bit aggrieved about that?
Oh, I don't feel great about it. Oh, just a bit of a thank you would have been nice.
Mate, I left 2 television stations. I don't think I got. I didn't even get a card. Like, hello, see you later. Thanks for 20 years. I got. It's very minimal. When you leave a TV station, sometimes it's like, by the way, there's your car, there's the gate. See you later. Thanks for coming, brother. No, so don't worry about the brutality of footy. Just come to the media, champ.
Oh, well, that's a walk away here, haven't I? Jesus Christ. Adelaide fiasco. It's ruined a bit of a like it would have been a big boil down, massive final round of footy. But now the Cats, the Crows, and the Bombers, no one can make finals.
Well, they're sort of not tanked. Well, the Cats have certainly put the queue in the rack.
Correct.
And
yeah, as they should, mind you. What have they got to play for? Why would you play players?
No, well, that's true. I mean, just the integrity of the competition, I suppose. No, it's
but as we know, clubs look after themselves first. They're not worried about it.
If you're not getting penalised for it, and Chris Scott knows that his job's safe, you're right. There's probably not a lot of motivation to play your best side out.
Play the kids. Yeah. We will get into a bit of that stuff coming up on the Shelter FootyCast. Will Schofield, Mark Reddings. AFL, I'm not sure why I just read verbatim what was on the run sheet. West Coast and Fremantle. We go through the West Australian sides first up, Skater. Hawthorn v Fremantle at the MCG.
Yes.
We're talking about irrelevant games. This is probably one of them.
This is one of the real irrelevant games.
It might be actually a pretty fun preview coming up on the Shelter FootyCast.
I think it'll be a pretty open game, I'm guessing. I'm hoping both Sam Mitchell and Justin Longmuir. I mean, selection-wise, Fremantle, I guess, past this weekend, you're looking at how Liam Henry plays, what he does, how he's tracking, how their forwards go. Michael Walters, will he play after that calf? I suspect not, but they've got. You'd like to finish off. I know you're saying it's irrelevant. You still like to finish off with you don't want to get beaten by 10.
No,
particularly Fremantle. I mean, Hawthorn's shown enough. They could comfortably just. But I get a feeling Sam Mitchell will keep rolling.
Well, Sam Mitchell will for sure. I mean, it's an opportunity for Fremantle to play at the MCG. There'll
Absolutely.
be players in that side that haven't played a lot of footy there. Maybe none. I mean, there's some debutants rolling out. Tom Emmett last week, who I like.
Good, yeah.
We liked him. Fifey's going to be a midfielder next year, I saw. Just fighting around.
And Justin Longmuir's backed in Matt Taberner, who I saw at the weekend, kicked 2. I don't know. He's at 30 years of age. He's got a year of his contract to run. Right. He's only played 4 games this year. Is he the future of Fremantle?
Well, he's not the future, but
is he the present even? I mean,
but he wouldn't be on big money. He's not on big money.
No, but
you wouldn't not have him on your list if you could.
No, but he still thinks he's in the best 22, according to the quote I read.
Right.
So yeah, which I think. Don't you think that's
he's just been out from injury, has he? Is that right?
Who, Tabs? Yeah, he's had the back. Yeah. So he's played a bit of footy back for Peel. I think he's a good insurance, but that's. I think if you're going to trust, if you get Amos is a lock for next year, and off the back of that, Tracy.
I think having Tracy in there, he's been offering a bit, hasn't
he? But next year's also his year. We want to see that next step for him. So I think all things being equal, if Tracy and Amos, and to a lesser extent Corbett, I think two of those start ahead of Taberner next year, I think.
West Coast v Adelaide, 6:10 p.m. Saturday, Optus Stadium, where we will see.
Are we putting a selection in for Fremantle and Hawthorn?
Hawthorn.
Yeah, Hawthorn as well.
Thank you. We will see a few things. Luke Shuey and Shannon Hurn play their last game. Nic Naitanui farewelling the West Coast fan base.
Yep.
Tex winning the Coleman.
So bear in mind, how many? He's 7 behind. Is that right?
I don't know. You keep telling me 8.
I think it's 7, isn't it? Jane, just check the Coleman medal. Put it this way: he's going to have to kick probably 10, which is not inconceivable.
Yes.
And we know that. Well, your information is that Jay McGovern.
I think he's playing.
Set to play.
Yeah, I think Gov's playing. So that hurts my chances a little bit. Elliot Yeo's definitely not playing. So they were their 2 key backs. I think Jeremy McGovern will be a little hampered, but knowing Gov like I do, he'll want to play very well for his mates.
This? If this wasn't a Shannon Hurn, Luke Shuey farewell, would McGovern play?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, I don't know that for sure.
No, but in terms of... If
you're a 50-50 injury and you're coming into the last game of the year and the side's sitting second bottom of the ladder, you're not playing.
So he wants to play for that pure reason,
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
I think the ankle injury he had was like a blood vessel. Like he's torn some tendons in his ankle, but it hit a blood vessel and his ankle went to like... This
wasn't when he got poleaxe on the ribs, was it?
Elephantitis. No, I think it was another option. So Luke Shuey, Shannon Hurn, their last games, they'll want to play well. The boys will feed them. West Coast will try to be like a Richmond. You know, I bang on about Richmond and Geelong getting up for milestone games. West Coast will try to do that. It's whether or not they have the cattle.
And can sustain that effort.
Yeah.
Which we've seen for most of the year. I mean, last week was an outlier. But yeah, you're right. And Adelaide, the big questions on Adelaide as well. They've come from the front. They must be on such an emotional low coming across here. They win that game. The complexion of this match changes completely.
Matty Nixo speaking in the media have been excellent, I think.
1 minute he gave them, or 2 minutes he gave them. Vent, get angry, move on.
Yeah, you can't look in the past, get on with it, which is exactly the right attitude. So maybe he does have him in a good headspace. Maybe he's got him good to go.
I don't know him from a bar of soap, but I reckon he's done he's been there for a handful of years almost, but I think he's done a pretty good job with Adelaide, and their improvement this year, the graph's going the right way.
Shannon Hurn, where's he sit? Greatest of all time for West Coast.
Well, you've got him close to top.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more you could do.
Yeah.
Played the most games. Premiership captain. Rarely played a bad game. Yeah. Like I'd have him in front of Judd. And
is he the best Eagle I've seen? No.
Would you have him in front of Judd?
The criteria is, you're saying the greatest ever Eagles. I mean, the best ever Eagle I've seen.
The best ever Eagle can't leave to go to another club halfway through his career, can he? Surely.
Well, he's played. It wasn't like he was there for 2 years. He was there for a decent time.
Yeah, he just left.
He did
See you, Juddy.
Yeah, I still think he's the best ever Eagle I've seen.
You've got to be the best.
The best ever Eagle.
Chris Judd.
The best Eagle I've seen as a player. Yes, that doesn't mean that he's.
But you have to take everything into account.
No, the greatest. So if on that basis, Shannon Hurn, because of his number of games and being a premiership captain, those accolades, you're saying he's the greatest ever Eagle. Mine isn't on that criteria. Mine's the best player, I've seen.
Right.
So, but yours stands up. It's hard to argue it.
Ash Sampi. Anyway.
Ash Sampi? Where's that come from?
People that played with Ash Sampi said he was the most talented footballer that anyone's ever played with.
But that was a could have, would have. I mean, John Todd, they said he would have been, but he had a knee injury. So, I mean, Jacko's won the club champion 4 times.
Ross Glendinning, he's a Brownlow medalist. He played for West Coast.
Yeah, he was inaugural captain, but his time there was, I think, finished in 1988.
Yeah, but you can't bring time into it. Juddy left.
Ross played 2 years there at the Eagles. We're talking Juddy, who, by the way, was a premiership captain.
He was too. West Coast. Who are we picking?
Well, I hope Adelaide.
I hope Tex kicks 10.
I hope he kicks whatever it is. Whatever Curnow does, I hope he kicks one short just to piss you right off. That's all I'm hoping. But well, they'll look for him big time, won't they?
Absolutely. They'll be feeding him.
Yeah, but
just like the boys will be feeding Hurn and Shuey.
But the thing is, given that there's a bit more to play on the Sunday, but the Blue Bags will also be thinking, okay, Charlie needs 3 or whatever. Right. They'll know the equation. So anyway, good luck picking Adelaide.
Okay, perfect. Will Schofield, Mark Redding's Shelter Footy Car. Let's get into the rest of the round. We just had a little pause on the Shelter FootyCast. There's flashing lights. There's things going on.
I thought we weren't being recorded, and I was thinking, geez, that was actually the best 10 minutes we've done for 2 years.
So if it did record, you know what we're talking about. If it didn't, welcome to the Shelter FootyCast. Essendon v Collingwood, Friday night footy. It would have been a big game if Adelaide.
The AFL did everything they could to manufacture a Friday night blockbuster, but
A blockbuster.
but not to be.
Collingwood need to sort their shit out, if we're going to be honest.
And to be fair, McRae has come out and said, look, it's not something that's... He's quite comfortable with what he knows what has to be done. Well, whether that can be affected remains to be seen. He said personnel is not really the issue.
Yeah.
When you think of more day costs, I mean, you go through the lot. The Murphy, Sword, DeGoey. They've got half a dozen players that are out.
Yes.
So they're bits. The week off will come at a really good time for them, I would suspect.
Yep.
But they'd still like to get back to the footy that and defensively.
You need some momentum mentally coming into a bye. If they came out and Essendon, challenge them or beat them, which I don't think is going to happen off a 126-point loss.
No.
But if you don't play well and then you get a bye and then you're rocking up for the first qualifying final and you're like, shit, what are we going to get here? You need to play well this game so they go, right, we're back. We know what's coming in 2 weeks' time.
But bear in mind, I hate to bring this back to the Eagles. The Eagles are beaten by 101 points and we couldn't envisage that that the Eagles would challenge the Bulldogs. So you're right. If they don't show up on Friday night, Essendon, last game of the season, there's no retirees from my not. Heppel's going on. But yeah, they've done quite a lot well this year, Essendon, but they'd hate to finish with another big defeat.
That was terrible last week. Darcy Parish plays his 150th. Josh Dacos plays his 100th. Jordan DeGoey in, Bobby Hill in. So they've got a couple of big ins, Collingwood. So they, Essendon will be looking to bounce back. Collingwood need to find the form before finals. Who are we picking? Collingwood
easily, but interesting that there's a bit of talk about Darcy Parish and whether the Bombers should.
He's got a 5-year deal on the table.
Yeah,
and
he's balking. I think Merritt's got something similar, and there's a bit of toing and froing. Whether there's a CBA,
Darcy Parish, you
gets a lot of it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But is he a player that
damaging?
Yeah, well, that's the question. Is he damaging enough? Anyway, Collingwood to win.
You got to have someone playing in there, don't you? So
he gets it.
He's a good player.
He gets it 30 plus every game, doesn't he?
We didn't pick West Coast Adelaide. Who are we picking?
Adelaide, yeah. Adelaide, but with text to kick 4.
So I think Adelaide win. Yeah.
But by big margin?
No. Yeah.
Oh, surely not.
Well, West Coast don't fade away, but Adelaide are a pretty good side, mate. So
I just think the way they've been knocked around this week, and woe is me, and rightfully so, woe is me, because they've been absolutely torched this year on a couple of matches.
We're gonna pick a Shelter FootyCast roughie by that.
That's going to be very hard.
You've
got yours actually.
Adelaide win to give West Coast the wooden spoon because North Melbourne v Gold Coast, 11:45 a.m. I'm going to put this on the table right now. North Melbourne will win this game.
So there's your bottom art roughie of the week.
Bottom art roughie of the week. North Melbourne to beat Gold Coast in Tassie with everything and nothing to play for at the exact same time. I'll caveat with this, Skeeter. If North don't win, they are tanking. They are flat out tanking. If they don't beat the Gold Coast in Tasmania, North Melbourne are tanking, so they have to win. That's my opinion.
So North Melbourne, who've won 2 games for the year?
Yeah, right at the start of the year.
They are a very poor side.
Blokes out surfing. LDU's having a surf. He's hanging shuckers in the green room.
Why wouldn't you? If I was North Melbourne, I would not want to win this game, and they won't be winning this game.
Correct. So there's no reason for them to win this game. This is the exact same chat that was going on about West Coast. Why aren't we hearing the tanking chat about North Melbourne?
Well,
because I'm being facetious, clearly. Right? People who know me.
Absolutely.
But that'll get clipped up by Jaden and it'll be put on North Melbourne threads and I'll be...
But it won't be like... You're right. The Kane Corns and Nathan Buckley's having a go at the Eagle. If you were at North Melbourne this week...
Why would you want to win?
Totally. 100%.
There is no point in winning. They'll get the number 1 pick.
I'll tell you the other reason.
This number 2 pick's firming as well, by the way.
Yeah, and
for Ben McKay.
Which is a joke. But can we just go back just a step? Because while you were away, the odds of the Eagles winning the wooden spoon were fairly short.
Yeah.
And guaranteed. But because we do work for Shelter on this podcast, there was some consternation. In fact, the HR department, and we had a letter come out given... Anyway, I'll just read it out. It has come to the attention of the Shelter Brewing Company Board of Directors that individuals within the Shelter FootyCast and BackChat Studios organisation have been operating in a dishonest and unethical manner. Here at Shelter, our core values include integrity and community. As a locally owned business that holds our community in high regard, business partners acting in this manner, it does not sit well with the board. Here is the board's summary of the transgression. On Thursday, August 10, a valued listener of the Shelter FootyCast alerted co-host Mark Readings that Will Schofield promised to do a nude lap of Optus Stadium if the Eagles won the wooden spoon. On Monday, 14 August, Shelter FootyCast producer Jaden pulled the audio of Mr Schofield making his commitment to doing a nudie lap.
Yep.
Shelter FootyCast co-host Mr Schofield was quick to duck and weave around his words, making excuses and looking for ways to uphold his commitment to the valued podcast listeners.
Mr Schofield now, is it?
This lack of accountability is frankly disgusting, and we expect the situation to be rectified before the end of the 2023 AFL Final Series. As upstanding members of the local community, we require Mr Schofield to get completely naked and complete either a lap of Optus Stadium. Yep. We will also accept a length of the Busselton jetty in place. Regards, Shelter Brewing Company Board of Directors. Thank you to Tom and the team.
So the Board of Directors want to see some dick by the sounds of things. Is that right? Is that right? Is that what I'm getting from that?
Well,
Seriously?
Maybe it's a bit quiet there. We tried to get to a nightclub in Busselton. We couldn't, so maybe that's their answer. We tried to get in, didn't we?
How long is that jetty? Like 1.4 kilometres. So you want a 3K time trial up and down the Busso jetty naked. Tell you what, be getting some severe shrinkage, even if there wasn't anything to shrink. Optus Stadium is on the cards. I've never said I wouldn't do it.
You're safe now. You're safe. You know you're safe.
I don't think I am.
You're safe.
North Melbourne beat Gold Coast.
They're not beating them. You want to take something to the bank? They are not beating the Gold Coast Suns.
I'm not. I've never listened to one thing you've said this entire year on this podcast, mate. I'm not going to start right now.
So
Lukosius out. Ben King out. Ben Humphries out. They're just dropping like flies. And wait for some late. You wait for the late changes, Skeeter. Gold Coast will be pulling the. Get them out of there.
What's the Gold Coast?
Dimmer's in there, mate. Why would they want to win?
What's the issue? They've got the 80% of their list there ready to go to win a flag, as he said.
We've heard that from you're kidding yourself. I asked you on Monday, would Gold Coast win a flag within the next 5 years? He's actually got a 6-year deal.
We thought it was 5.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to say no because we've seen nothing to suggest they can.
Well, he says yes.
Let them play finals first,
says
then we
yes.
can look at it.
They're not winning this game. There is no reason for them to win. They're pulling their players out.
There's less reason for North to win.
Well, there may be, Skeeter. So the two options are North Melbourne win and I'll get my bottom mark roughie of the week up, or they lose and they're tanking.
Well, either way.
Who are you picking?
Well, they're really going to be stressed out about Will Schofield saying we're tanking on a Shelter FootyCast. No, North Melbourne is losing this game. Gold Coast win. It's a lay down unless they are completely off their rockers at Arden Street.
I might come back and start playing in the AFL. The market for key lockdown dour defenders is huge at the moment. There's literally no one. Ben Mackay's got 10 teams trying to get his signature. What's happening?
No, you did say that, and you quite rightly say that he's
good player,
his reputation
good player,
precedes what's actually being spoken about. It's extraordinary, but you know what? Good luck to him if he gets a good
absolutely.
deal.
Love seeing a defender get a bit of what they're worth. Brisbane v St Kilda, 2:35 Saturday at the Gabba. It's at the Gabba. Brisbane win. That's usually what happens.
You've been almost dismissive of a team that is well placed to make the grand final.
They could win
the grand final, and you'd still say no, they're no good. They're shit house. I can feel this.
I have not said they're shit house. They're great at the Gabba.
Yeah,
so they'll make the grand final.
Theoretically, they've got to win one more game out of their state,
which is the granny.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not beyond the realms.
Look, sometimes in life, Skate, you got to stand behind something, right? And I know that's sometimes difficult for you. You know, you're ducking and weaving and left and right.
The ducking and weaving was on a letter addressed to you, by the way, about Nudie Run, not me.
Mate, sometimes you got to stand by something, and I say Brisbane can't win away from the Gabba, even though they continue to do so.
They just towed up Collingwood by 5 goals. But anyway, so St Kilda is the talking point here as well with what they've done. And look,
I don't think we'll see much from St Kilda.
No, but to say I'm not sure how much value Ross puts on this result. In fact, either way, Brisbane, now can they be displaced from top 2? I think if Port wins, they possibly can, but I think they're in a pretty sweet spot. First or second doesn't matter for them, I would have thought.
Yes, they can jump Collingwood if Collingwood somehow lost.
Which, let's be honest, that's unlikely. But can Port jump Brisbane?
Absolutely, they're on the same points as them.
Yeah, so on that basis,
not by percentage though. Like they're
so Brisbane wins, they lock away top 2. Yeah?
Correct, that's right.
So that's the most likely. St Kilda, I'm not sure. They might get they're looking to get a home final at Marvel Stadium, but that's in the lap of the gods as to what happens elsewhere, but also in their match. I'm tipping Brisbane. Think they win as always up there.
Very good. Of course they will. Eric Hipwood's 150th. Lions haven't lost at the Gabba this year.
It's not about,
I
it's a
didn't hear
good
that.
record to take, though. You know, you play finals if you do that every year.
I picked Brisbane. Geelong v Western Bulldogs.
This is a tough game.
Kardinia Park. Cats have just pulled everyone. They don't want to win. They're done. They're accusing the rack. See you later.
I do agree with you, but
Duncan out, Close out, Radaglia out, Hawkins out, Cameron out, Isaac Smith, he's playing his last game, but no one's playing in it. They don't really care.
But it's about 20 years since the Bulldogs have actually won down there. And if
They
you're
have to.
if you're going on form,
they will win this game.
if you're going on form,
Tom Liberatore is in.
that is a massive inclusion.
They will win this. There's just no way they don't win this.
No, I wish.
If you don't win, you don't play finals.
Yeah,
And it was pretty much like that last week. But I think you get jumped by a side that you're not expecting anything from. They know what they're going down to. It's just a must-win game for them.
And you talk about lack of motivation for teams.
They're favourite.
The reigning premiers, their season's done. You're right, some kids will get exposed, but I 100% agree on this. If the Bulldogs lose this, they're a disgrace. Because the lack of motivation for their opposition. I mean, I know they're pride the jumper, that sort of stuff, but Geelong, Q in the rack, first time, I don't know how long since they haven't played finals, but it's been some time.
So why is it okay for Geelong to put the Q in the rack with nothing to play for?
Yep.
And I'm having to go at myself here.
Yep.
And why can't the Kangaroos put the Q in the rack? Why can't the Kangaroos...
Because there's so much... We know
why can't the Kangaroos withdraw 6 players like Geelong has just done?
But there's a different carrot at the end of this. It's the number 1 draft pick and plus for North, and for Geelong it's
Geelong are looking after the list, right?
yeah.
So why can't Kangaroos look after the list? What if they had some players that were 50-50, which they will have? That's what happens at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Why can't they do that?
Well, it probably can.
So are Geelong tanking?
Geelong's tanking with no benefit though.
Correct.
Well, minimal benefit. Oh look, I know
the
you're
integrity
arguing
of the competition.
integrity of the competition.
Which is so far gone. I mean, blokes are kicking goals. We can't tell them if it's a goal or not. See you later. Concussions out the window.
I'm tipping the Bulldogs should win this.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, it's not your bottom up roughy because they're favourites.
No, they're favourites. The Bont needs to poll votes here though, doesn't he? Did he get? He might have got 1 or 2 last week. Or
one maybe.
possibly.
Needs 3 here.
Needs 3
because I've got another.
I've still got Dacos winning.
I've got another naked bet on the line.
What's going on here?
Well, with the Brownlow. On BackChat. Hamish was going to serve beers naked at the paddo for an hour if Toby Green won the Brownlow.
Yep.
It's not going to happen. And I think if Nick Dacos wins the Brownlow, I've got to deliver a case of BackChat Ales, shelter BackChat Ales to his doorstep.
That's
naked.
okay. Naked for his doorstep.
Yes.
Well, so his family or whoever's.
I don't know. I'm not sure why these naked bets keep coming out. But apparently I'm involved in a few of them.
You go to a boys' sort of private school. Is it an issue with nudity, or you love it, or
I'm okay with my own sexuality.
not sexuality, nudity? I said.
Oh, sorry. Port Adelaide v Richmond Sunday. Adelaide Oval.
Benny Hill music.
Port Richmond. Go on, hit some button about Travis Kelce, surely.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Port Adelaide v Richmond, Adelaide Oval, Sunday. First game, 10:30 a.m. here. Wake up!
Yeah, Richmond will just be coming back from the nightclub, won't they? After this. Just now you're going through these games, there are that many one-sided games coming up here.
Yeah.
It could be flogging after flogging.
Yeah, correct.
And this is a given Port were pretty good last week, I thought.
Unless you get inventive, this is your last opportunity to pick
Is it right?
bottom art,
It might be. You're sure? Okay.
I've got something for you. Since data was recorded, no player has won more ball playing over 85% in the forward line than...
This is for either Port or Richmond?
Yeah. No player has recorded, since data was recorded, no player has won more ball playing 85+% in the forward line than Dustin Martin this year. First disposals, contested possessions, forward 50 ground ball, fifth in score involvements. I don't know what first disposals means. What's he for who? Well, of course he is. It's the most of all time. Okay, thank you very much. Port Adelaide need to take this momentum into final, Skeeter. They need to smack Richmond here, and I think they do. Richmond's final was last week.
Yeah, 100%. I'm running out of bottom art roughy. I just looked down the list. I'm in a bit of pain. Yeah, Port's winning this. They're right in the mix.
Is Dusty going to Gold Coast and the Amalfi Coast? We should be calling it the Amalfi Coast.
Amalfi Coast, I know. 300 games, is that a big enough lure?
How far away is he? He's not.
They're saying touch and go for next year. I don't know. I just
Still
wonder
got to
whether
play 300. He goes to play another
I wonder whether if McCoulter gets a job, whether the new coach will have any sort of standing or any influence on what Dusty does. But if he goes to the Gold Coast, do they automatically turn into a top 8 side, a bit like G Ablett if in that junior in that situation? Is he?
How old's Dusty? Is he over 30?
He's got to be 30 plus now.
Playing for a while, hasn't he? I mean, he's a gun. He's had a very good year this year. Underrated, very good year this year.
He's just a brilliant player. 32. So he's got two left in him.
Start getting injured after 32,
Skater. I'm 100% with you there. This could be a margin. What the line's 37, so they could do a number. Can I go Port over 60 here as my bottom mark roughie?
No, you can't. Port Adelaide win.
I have to go back in the fixtures.
Sometimes you got to prepare yourself for this show, Skater. Now, Port Adelaide win. You pick Port.
I picked Port, yes.
Oh, you've done this to me before, mate, so you're just like seeing you squirm around over there. Sydney v Melbourne, Sunday at the SCG. Swans can secure a home final with a win, which is, I think, outrageous from where they've come from halfway through the year.
Totally. I mean, they looked a rabble at times. And mind you, injuries did play a part in their lack of good form, but they started to string. They had a couple of, let's be honest, they had 2 matches where you'd probably think they've been a tad lucky against Melbourne last week, Adelaide, and go back to North Melbourne, the interchange blunder. There's 8 points that possibly fall. No, this is all hypothetical.
You make the argument the other way. That game, they kicked like 10 points in a row.
No, 100%. No, you're right there. But they've done a good job. And look, Horse has got them. No, they can't win the flag. Let's be honest.
Simon Goodwin has signed on a couple of years. Bailey Fritch may be back. He could return via the AFL given their forward woes.
And Clayton Oliver, interesting to see whether, after the back of Finn McGuinness, whether there's a possibility that Sydney might do the same.
Bring back the tag.
Who's
I missed that clip off the top there. Who was having a look about it? Simon Goodwin. Oh, we can clip him here.
Yeah.
Oh, see, very smart by Simon Goodwin. He's having a clip of him in there. He would love having a Finn McGuinness in his side.
Of course.
Give a bloke a role, never lets you down. Tag Oliver. Don't know with who. Callum Mills, you go head to head with him, but it's not a tag. You're not sacrificing Callum Mills out of the game. They'll be going flat out here, Sydney. They want a home final. They get a home final at the SCG first round. I'll be there as well. I'll be in Sydney that weekend, so I'll see you there at the SCG. Tom Papley's out with a hammy.
He's out with a hammy, yep.
Tom McCartan is available.
Yes, 2-match ban overturned or dismissed by the tribunal.
Surprised by that? That's a finals-based decision, surely. How has he gone from 2 to 0?
Yeah.
That's outrageous. Yeah. You hit him in the head.
It did.
Buddy Franklin will be doing a lap of honour, Skater.
Will he?
He'll be doing. Yeah, he's doing the
wave.
Yeah, he's doing the Queen's wave. Yep.
I'm leaning towards Sydney here.
Are they
it can't be my roughie because
they're favourites.
They're favourites. So I can't have I'm running out of room here.
I reckon I've sold you into Sydney as well, haven't I?
No, I think Sydney are going to be. Yeah, I don't mind them. I think at home they slightly. Can Melbourne advance past 4th? Probably not. No. So I'm sort of weighing up a lot of my choices here just on the motivation factors of various clubs. Sydney Swans to win.
Sydney win. Carlton v GWS Sunday 4:10. The last game of the round. This is a game that has something on the line.
Absolutely. Well,
clearly,
if the Bulldogs win, does that change the equation for the Giants? They still have to win, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah. They'll need to win because of percentage, basically.
So if the Bulldogs don't win for whatever reason,
then this is a fizzer.
That's an absolute fizzer
because they'll play each other again.
Carlton Giants.
First round of finals.
Yeah.
So this is a complete fizzer.
Absolute.
So we hope Bulldogs win, and then we're calling this game on 6PR, Skate, you and I.
Are we?
I think so.
On Sunday, I think. Oh, no, we're calling Melbourne Sydney.
Oh, that's right. We're not doing this one. All right, so Carlton guaranteed 5th.
Yep.
Must win for Giants if Dogs win. Blues have won 9 in a row. Chera, Kennedy, McGovern and Walsh all available to return, and it's Stephen Canelio's 200th game.
And I think they've got to give those Carlton boys some time, match time, don't they? Because you have a week off. It's really a fair while if they don't play footy this week. So it's a balancing act because the mix they've got is pretty good, albeit they gave up a big start to the Gold Coast Suns. So there's that factor. You mentioned the Canelio milestone, which is not insignificant. That's a big
GWS win this game, Skate.
Yeah, well, I've got them as my roughie with a margin. With a margin. I've 4+ goals.
You can have them.
Their forms are really good. And we mentioned retirees. I forget Phil Davis. Was it this week? Yeah. He's been a really good servant for that footy club.
Yep.
Speak of backman. And he's got he's so well spoken. I think he might find himself able to transition into something like you've done.
I was in as you know, Skate, I was in a corporate box at the Matildas.
Yeah, a man of the people as you are.
Phil Davis was in it. Had a good chat to him.
Yeah.
May have known this was on the way, Skate. Didn't decide to drop it beforehand.
Why don't you maybe tell your mates instead of with a head wobble? Just
Because you're not going to break when someone's retiring, are you?
no, I would do that.
So,
Yeah, right.
you idiot. GWS.
Go
to
the
win.
Giant. Go picking the Giants is my bottom up roughly by 4+.
Bottom Art Roughie of the week. Thanks, Skeeter. You can get your shelters down at Bottom Art. They'll have you covered for the footy weekend. We're running out of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is the last we'll see of West Coast this year.
Yeah, and
Thank
not before
God.
time.
Thank God.
It's been a long year for both teams. They've been both, well, Fremantle not as bad, but they've been, well, they've let you down in so many ways with your, the flag mantle shirts are now, I'll take them to Bali in October for you just to see what I
To wipe some cars down. You won't even be able to sell over there. Mate. See Mark Reddings at the traffic lights over there waving people down.
I got the Cats back-to-back flags. He was sort of jumping on board with that. I thought Eagles to play finals. I thought, geez whiz. Like, I'll be outside those Cuda markets before you know it.
What have you said other than Buddy Franklin's retiring? No, other than
I've got a lot wrong.
What have you said that's right? Can you
That's
counter
right.
that? I said Sydney would miss finals. That hasn't happened.
I said Collingwood would finish top 4. I think.
Good on you.
No, well, hang on. Everyone had them sliding. Sydney was your big one.
Yeah,
the Giants, I got completely wrong.
I said they were wooden spoon.
I had them bottom 4. And
Hawthorn. I was hot on Hawthorn. I said they'd be a competitive side.
No,
this
I
year.
don't think you're wrong there.
No, I think I'm right. Yeah, no, I was just trying to find something I've said that's correct.
We're trying to look for good stuff. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, we've both got, like most people, we've both butchered stuff. Now, I've got a quick shout out for a guy who does listen to this podcast regularly. His name's Will Rollo. He works at the Footy Commission. He's a Subi man.
We know Will.
Yeah,
he's a good man.
Good man. And he said, where's the love? So he does a bit of broadcasting himself.
Will bought the Hamish Brayshaw little poster.
Oh, very nice.
Good man, Will. Like it. Yeah, he runs a podcast on swimming.
Yeah, it does a bit of commentary. Yeah,
we like it too.
He does. He was going to go to. Yeah, he's like he's chance to go to Paris to commentate over there.
Anyone else you want to shout out? Say hello to your wife and kids, maybe.
No, I'm going to go to a meeting. So, but no, big weekend of footy.
We're not done yet. Will Schofield, Mark Redding, Shelter FootyCast. Skeeter's giving us a wrap up. Well, Skeeter, I'll tell you, mate. Just hang on. Just fucking
How many
money.
questions? Yeah.
Skeets Rants. This is an email that's coming. Skeets Rants. It's entitled.
Yeah, good on him. Yep. Or her.
G'day, legends. Wilma here.
Wilma.
You don't want to hear the last name. Wilma is here. We all love a good Skeeter spray. An old boy abusing people, calling them numbskulls, is classic listening. There should be a segment you run that's just Skeeter giving a good spray to someone or something. Cheers, Wilma.
Yeah, it's only time to time. Look, I'm a more a lover than a fighter. I think it's fair to say, Skull. I don't get angry too often. Like,
no, even when you're a fighter, you and I are fighting up each other. We're like holding back laughter. Yeah. You'll be heading to Coldplay, I'm assuming, given your stance.
No,
on
I got my daughters some tickets.
Yeah, are you going?
Yeah, I think I'll be going.
very.
I'm not huge.
Very staunch defender of their
I'm not
music.
huge, but I'm thinking
Sounds
it's
like
a missed opportunity for the Southern River Band. That's all
Mark
I would say.
Redding,
But
staunch Coldplay defender.
That's incorrect. But I will be attending. I'm hoping to get in the box at some stage. We'll wait and see with the invites. At this stage, I'm out there buying my bourbons with the rest of the punters.
Good, that'd be good. I'd like to see your bald head down there in the thing from the box that I'm sitting in. Listen to questions. Michael Baker, 3199. Nic Naitanui went 2. Chris Judd went 3. Josh Kennedy went 4. Chris Marston went 3. Not throwing them in. But number 1 is not the be-all and end-all. Getting a sense of winning for the young players is really important, surely. This is off the back of me saying they shouldn't have won last week.
No, I do get it. It's a good argument. And winning can't be bad for your culture, young kids coming through. I do get it. And that point's valid. I mean,
yep.
It was just the timing of the victory with 2 rounds.
After it copped what we've copped.
Yeah, you may as well just... Anyway, in that sense, I totally get his sentiments, but I'm a bit with you here. I think, well, ideally for the club, if you're trying to get the best look at the draft, no guarantee, but the best look, you finish last.
Well, Saritas disagrees with you, Skeeter. I would much rather go into the next preseason with wins and fighting losses than playing like shit and getting Harley Reid. Yeah, no, he probably agrees with you.
It's a bit of both there, but look, I do understand the fans want to see some growth in the team this year. And, even this week on Footy Classified, they're saying, did Simo, try and win the game because he knows he's not going to be coach, and as opposed to against Essendon where, some of the theories coming out are really bizarre. But is this, by the way, the last time we see Adam Simpson coach the Eagles? Very strong chance.
Really?
I think it's a very strong chance. I think most people, if you were to say more likely or less likely.
Yeah, if you rolled the Magic 8 ball.
Yeah. I think it's more unlikely. But that's with
I think on a final note, I think it's a positive thing that the club hasn't announced one way or another this week. If you announced, okay, Adam Simpson's going on for next year, it'd be a big blow up this week.
Yep.
Why
detract from the
if they sacked him this week, the same thing would happen. Let the players have their week. Naitanui, Shuey, Hurn, send them off properly and then make some decisions. Hopefully they've made them. It'd be disappointing come Monday if there isn't. This is what's happening going forward.
Yep, agree.
We're done, Skater. You can get to your meeting.
Have fun. Yeah, no, looking forward to it. I'll see you at the footy on the weekend, and it should be good. And in all seriousness, to the boys you've played with, Shuey, Naitanui, and Bunga, been great for the game.
I agree, mate. Just remember, if North loses, they're tanking, and they're going to win. Texas winning Coleman.